Today on Pillars of Power, I'm sitting down with a woman who mastered the art of shaping stories and shifting global conversations. Maha Abouelenein is a world-renowned communication strategist, founder of Digital and Savvy, and the voice behind some of the most impactful movements of our time. She's advised billionaires, built brands, guided political leaders, and through it all stayed deeply grounded in purpose. From corporate boardrooms to grassroots movements, from caregiving to keynote stages, Maha's journey is proof that power isn't just about being seen. It's about being true, being of service, and being brave enough to write your own story. Maha, welcome to Pillars of Power. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm delighted.
Thank you. You've built a powerful career as a global communication strategist, advising world leaders, shaping narratives, and now writing best selling books. When did you first realize this was your calling? What drew you to the power of communication?
It's actually thank you so much for having me. First of all, it's a story that I it dates back to when I was in university and college. I was an intern at a local news station, and I was in the newsroom. And the moment something would come in through the wire, where basically they would send it to the news station and say, here's a story that's just coming out that's about to go public, we would sit in the newsroom and figure out how to package it. How do we tell the story? How to find the narrative? What's the headline? How do we explain it to the public? So that process of a wire feed coming in, us working on it, and then having to broadcast it to the world excited me to no end. That whole process of finding the narrative, telling the story. And that's how I got hooked on communications of like, what makes people listen? What makes people pay attention? What is the thing that you really care about and how to do that and do it well? And I became my life's purpose is to help people communicate better.
You've worked with everyone from global institutions to grassroots movements. Which chapter of your journey do you feel tested your self reliance the most and why?
Yeah, I mean, I think the concept of self-reliance is interesting. There's a lot of ways that we think about moving forward in life. And often we're waiting for people to give us those opportunities. And the concept that I have in self reliance, which is what the book is about, is what is in your hands? What is in your power to do it? And often we think we're not capable of doing something because we've never been asked to do it before. And so some of the challenges that I've had in my career that kind of defined me were moments when I had to learn how to rely on myself. I'm like, I had to invest in myself, or I had to go make the right relationships I was missing, or I had to find out how I can create value for other people. And I think that's the power of using the skill of self-reliance is to inspire you to take control of the things you want to see in your life by investing in yourself to do them.
Couldn't agree more. So many times life will force you to be uncomfortable and be the best version of yourself, or at least go into the unknown and do what you never even thought you was probably capable of doing. And that is leaning into your own power and resting on being self-reliant. So I couldn't agree more with what you just said.
Yep. Everybody has the ability. Everybody has the ability to learn, and it's for free. You have access to the internet. You have access to other people. It used to be where you went to school determined who you're going to become. That's not true anymore. And so you have the ability to rely on yourself to go acquire the knowledge you're missing, or the skills you're missing, or the experience you're missing, or the relationships you want to have.
Well, let's go over to your book. It's
Yes.
7 Rules of Self-Reliance. What
Yes.
inspired you to write that?
I've been very grateful for the wonderful career that I've had and I continue to have. And I wanted to write a book, not about what I did, but how I did it. How do I learn how to network? How do I get into the most powerful rooms? How do I build relationships? How do I create value for clients so that they stay with me for a long time? And I always loved reading books. Books have been a big part of my life, my whole life. So I wanted to always write a book because I love to read books. And it was a goal of mine to always write one. And I've been talking about it for so long. And I said, I got to stop talking about it and actually do it. And so I was inspired because I felt if I wrote a book, maybe I can help other people. I can create value for people. I can teach them the power of building their personal brands. I can teach them the power of telling stories better to help them build better relationships or advance at work or give them a reason to start believing in their own capabilities. And that's what inspired me to write the book.
In the book, you share a powerful story about being asked to write a speech for a prime minister, even though you've never done it before. You said, I honestly had no idea what I was supposed to do, but I still said yes. That really resonated and stuck with me. I've learned everything on the job. Even now, I'm pretty nervous, but I'm still, it's just
Yeah, you
what it
gotta
forced
just
me
show
to
up.
do.
Showing
Yeah,
up is everything.
it is. It really is. I never feel ready, but I do it anyway. How do you push through high stakes moments when you feel the fear, but you say yes anyway? And how do you make peace with learning as you go along?
Yeah, I think this is a great question. First of all, I love this. Like, how do you do it? Is you take action. A lot of people think I need to wait until I'm confident in order to take action. And my message to you is simple. If you take the action, you will get the confidence. Nobody starts off knowing how to do everything. Everybody starts from zero. So, what can you do to take those steps yourself? To really start to think about, okay, I have to overcome something I've never done before, or I feel failure is on the other side, or I'm fearing I'm not sure I'm going to get through this. Why don't you try? And that's when you get the learning from it and move forward.
In your book, you also wrote, I wasn't stuck, I was executing, but I was executing someone else's vision. I really felt that line because I get things done, but sometimes I still feel trapped. And it's probably because I'm not truly stretching myself to my true capabilities. For people like me who know that there's more but feel caught in competence, how do we shift from executing to truly expanding?
Yeah, I think, you have to have a team. If you think that you're going to expand and grow without a team, it's very difficult to scale a person of one. And so I believe that's the key. If you really want to grow in anything that you do, you need to surround yourself with the right people, the right team, the right relationships that'll help you move forward. I think that's a big, big part of it. And then having secondly, is having a level of self awareness. What am I good at? What am I not good at? Where can I get help? What are some things that if I were to lean on someone else's expertise, I might be able to go farther or faster? That's what you need to think about. Have self awareness of like the things you aren't good at, you're not good at, and you don't have to be good at everything, but get the right team and talent around you of people who do.
And how do you pick your team? Because I'm a chief exec of a charity in my day job, and team is very important. It can make or break the entire organization. How do you pick your winning team?
Yeah, I think a lot of like first of all, I'll ask for all referrals. I'll ask my friends, like I'm looking for somebody in this role. Do you guys know anybody? That's the first thing. The second thing is I think a lot about how do I look for the specific skills? Like, are they adaptable? Are they empathetic? Are they kind? I don't look at job titles or where they worked before so much as I look at their skill set and their ability to bring new talent with skills into the organization. I also look for team members who come with relationships. If you walk in the door with relationships, that's valuable to me. So those are some of the things I do when I'm looking at candidates or looking at team members or finding the right team members, asking for referrals, looking for the right skills, and asking to make sure that they have different skills that match the culture of my team and can bring value by having their own relationships.
Something I've come to believe is that being a leader is actually really selfless. Sometimes there's no applause, it's just service. And
Yes.
I've started saying that success is just work. Do you feel that too? And how do you stay grounded and motivated when the work you are doing isn't always seen or celebrated?
Yeah, I mean, entrepreneurship is a tough life, right? No one's giving you high fives. You're the leader of the company. You're maybe working 7 days a week. You're doing everything you can because it's your business, it's your baby. And I think a lot of times, in from my point of view, like I talk to other entrepreneurs about their struggles and their strengths and things that they're going through so I can learn from them, and having that community of people around you and expressing to your community of like when do you need help and what are some things you're struggling with, it helps give you strength and helps give you the learning that you need to move forward.
Rule two in your book is to be a value creator. That resonated with me because I've had to look inward, grow, and challenge myself to make sure that everything and anything I put out into the world is real for me. If something feels performative, I no longer do it. I try not to be involved, or I just won't post it or share it. And if it's not resonating at my core or adding value, I feel like I'm just adding to the excess. Have you ever had to navigate that tension? And how do you stay aligned with authentic value over visibility?
Yeah, I mean, how do you stay authentic in bringing value is a lot of times people make it about them and it's about your audience. Like, how can you show your authority and create trust and credibility in a way that it creates an emotional connection with your audience so that they can, believe in what you're trying to be impactful and influential. And I think a lot of it has to do with, sharing not just the successes but the failures, showing people authentically what it's like to have a day in life of your job or role, or how do you look for hiring people, or what do you do with clients, or how do you handle difficult press situations. I think all of that stuff really matters, and I think consumers have so much choice right now. They don't need to follow someone who they don't think is authentic, and they will easily cancel you if they think you've done something that's not in line with their views.
You talk about self reliance, not as isolation, but as equipping yourself with tools to be your own power source. What are some of those overlooked tools that you think women, especially in leadership, need to cultivate more consciously?
So I think women in general, I think the biggest challenge that I seen from the people that I work with is helping them find their narrative, like helping them use their voice, helping them articulate things that they care about and be pretty proactive in doing it. I think that's key.
It's scary sharing your voice.
It is, but like you here's one thing I'll just say to you, silence doesn't scale. If you are not visible, you are invisible. Think about that. Think about, like, if you decide that you're not going to put your hat in the ring, there's a million other people who will. So you're in the back foot from day one.
You've led major global movements and founded a communications agency, yet you write and speak with such humility and conviction. How do you personally balance being a powerful leader and a humble servant?
Yeah, I mean, I think any leader who is giving beyond them feels a great deal of satisfaction for the contributions that they're making. I honestly believe that. Like, I feel that to do good service as a leader, it's not about the profits, it's about the people. Are you helping the people? Are you adding value to them? Are you teaching your team? Are you inspiring your team? Are you assisting your clients? Are you assisting your colleagues? It's really, really important that you think about leadership is beyond the success of the measure of the profit. You should also think about people.
Having such a powerful and impactful career that you've had, has there been a moment that has been the most surprising to you, that where you surprised yourself with one of your accomplishments?
I never thought that I was going to work in the prime minister's office. I never thought I was going to be doing some of the roles that I achieved. And it came down to one thing for me. Why would anyone else believe in me if I didn't believe in myself? Other people would have confidence that I can do something. I'm like, why did they think I can do that? I don't think I can do that. I've never done it before. And I really believe that that's what it comes down to, is really trying to start from ground zero, that you got this, that you have the confidence to do it, even if you've never done it before. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will.
How do you envision the empire you're building? Where do you envision it will be in the next 10 years?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the news industry is changing a lot rapidly. I think I'll have a lot of, I think every business at every level will be impacted by AI at some level. So I think in 10 years, hopefully I would have built my company up, exited it, sold it in 10 years, and be doing other work that brings me satisfaction on the personal side.
Is there anything that you would like to see the world do better with communication today?
I mean, I think being a bit more authentic in your storytelling is key. Like, what can we do to make sure that we're investing in teaching people the skills they need? Modern communications is something that will never go out of style. So, knowing how to be good at storytelling, knowing how to be good at communicating, I just feel like every business across every industry needs to know how to do it. It's not a nice to have, it's a must have, essential as a skill for people.
From your book, The 7 Rules of Self-Reliance, what is the biggest lesson that you've learned on your journey that shaped you? Something that really.
Yeah, it's a good question. What's something I think when I did the book, just like meeting everybody, meeting the readers, talk about how much it's impacted them, talking about how much this book has changed their lives. You know, it's a bestseller for a reason, I think, because people can relate to some of the stories in the books. I love that for the readers who get a copy of it. The concept of self-reliance isn't I can do it myself and I know best. That's exactly what the book is not about. Because I'm trying to teach you, you can, you should and you must collaborate and work with other people, but you shouldn't expect people to bring you things or to give you things because you think you deserve them if you haven't relied on yourself first to put in the effort. And that's what I'm trying to explain. You need to rely on yourself to invest in yourself. No one's going to teach you everything you need to know. You need to know how to put effort in. You need to rely on yourself to know how to build a relationship with someone and talk to them and nurture a network. You need to rely on yourself to know how to create value for other people. That's what I mean when I say self-reliance. I mean having the skills you need that will put you on the front foot without having to wait for somebody else to bring you those opportunities.
You close your book by saying the most important story you tell is the story you tell to yourself. What's the story you're telling yourself in this current season of your life and work?
Yes. I think the most important story that not just for me, but for anybody else is what is the value that I'm bringing to people that I interact with? What's holding me back? Why am I waiting? Why am I not doing the things I'm capable of doing? Am I fearing failure? Am I fearing judgment from other people? Why am I waiting? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Because everybody has potential and has idea and has dreams, and a lot of people don't want to move on them. They're too scared. And I want to inspire them to don't be a waiter. I want to tell you now is the best time to start it. And the time to start probably was yesterday. The key to understanding what you're capable of is to actually try it. And then you'll know.
Sometimes we do have to get over that fear and just do what we got within us to do. I always say, don't die with the fire inside. And I just truly appreciate what you've been sharing throughout this conversation.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to be here.
Do you have anything that you haven't done yet that you plan to do? I know you're saying you're no longer waiting, so I believe you're probably putting it all into action. But is there something on your list that you haven't explored yet that you want to do?
No, I just feel for anybody listening, I'd love you to get a copy of the book. I want you to tell me what rule resonates with you. I give a playbook on how to build relationships in a network. I give a playbook on how to build your personal brand and why you need to build your personal brand. And most importantly, I teach you how to create value for other people, because when you create value for other people, you ultimately create value for yourself.
Yeah, that's very true. And I feel like the money naturally follows once you start creating value.
Yeah, I mean, the more relationships you have, the more opportunities you have. There's an old saying that says, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. It's true.
Lastly, if the whole world would pause and listen to your words of wisdom just for a moment, what would your message be?
I think don't be a waiter. If not now, when? If not who? If not you, who? Now's the time.
Maha, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today. Is there anything else you would like to share?
Please go to my website, join my free newsletters. I give a lot of free content, information, tips on communications, and everything you need to know to make it in today's world. Be a better storyteller, get free press, anything that you're thinking of that has to do with communications, I'm happy to share it.
Amazing. Maha, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for writing this amazing book. Everyone, head over to Maha's website. I'll put the links down below. Buy the book.
Thank you.
It's an absolute splendid read.